Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, dudes and dudettes. We've seen this guy on here before, and well, he's Waldo. He's a lot of cool things. He is a Voster chugger due to some sickies here. He's cleaning out the toxins that he probably contracted from Cincinnati, from the dirty Bengals fans that were lingering the streets last weekend. Luckily, he was surrounded by the Browns backers on a barge, bitching and complaining, pleading Ohio to get gambling in Ohio. The CEO of Ohio, a former Ohio Wesleyan baller, shot caller, 20-inch daggers. I don't even know. Sir Yacht.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, the intro, I tell you what, I didn't think it would get better than the last time I was on. It got better. And yes, I think anybody's a baller compared to Cade Cunningham's stats this year. We were just talking about that. And the fact that he has 12 points per game, but he's shooting like 28% for the field, which is absurd.
I think I could get 12 points a game with the amount of shots he's taking at the NBA level right now.
How many shots is he taking? Do we know?
It's like about 15 in that ballpark. In that 15, he's like a mid-teener on the shots per game.
See, I feel like he's taking more. I feel like if to get 12 points. Oh, but he has free throws too. Free throws are good. He's 93% from the field.
What does he have? Like 10? Because why would you even hack him at this point? Just let him shoot.
Dude, I don't know. He's only played 5 games too.
Yeah, he's a late start, so we'll accumulate the early season shooting woes to just not getting enough NBA reps.
Right. We'll get him. It's a little sample size right now, but this is just all to basically prove that Evan Mobley is the rookie of the year.
Yeah, can we be real honest with each other here? What's realistic expectations for Evan Mobley? Is it top 25 of all time or top 10 of all time in NBA history? And the second part of this question is, what makes him comparable to LeBron James already at LeBron's current age, and what skill sets already make him better than LeBron James?
Well, first off, he didn't leave Cleveland twice. So, and then and top 10, top 25, honestly, pretty disrespectful by you all, just to think he would not even crack the top 10.
I tried to be real. I tried to be somewhat realistic. I didn't want to be too much of a homer, but
yeah, you don't want to be biased. I get it.
I thought company of LeBron, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and LeBron would be, fair but little aggressive.
I guess that makes sense. You don't want to reveal your homerism right now, but to be real though, I'm so happy they drafted Evan Mobley. I didn't think the tall lineup would work, but boy, does Jared Allen and him. I mean, Evan Mobley has the most contested shots and block shots in the NBA this season, as a rookie, it's super impressive. He has a very high intellect for the game. So does Jared Allen. Darius Garland's playing lights out basketball, and I think the X factor, the glue to this team, is Ricky Rubio. He's playing amazing. He's playing his best career basketball right now. He's 31.
Okay, Chris Fetter from Akron Beacon Journal last night said it. He goes, "I don't know how to say godsend in Spanish, but that's what I would use to describe Ricky Rubio." But yeah, Ricky.
So
Rubio,
I don't like a lot of things Chris says sometimes, but I like some things that I really like some things he says sometimes. I think sometimes he goes negative on purpose. He takes the Tony Grossi route for some things with the Cavs, but I also like some things he says. That's a good one.
Are you pro or anti Grossi?
Oh, come on, dude. He's blocked me twice. So my
how do you get blocked and unblocked?
Well, my first account got suspended for a music copyright, or 4 or 5 music copyrights, which is another story. But second time I got back, and then he tweeted some bullshit, and then I made a video about him, and then he blocked me immediately.
Yeah. I thought maybe you got on unblock me Grossi and plead your case just so you can turn on the next day and get reblocked, because that'd be epic.
That would be better, honestly. But I am definitely one of the only people that can say I have been blocked by Tony Grossi twice. So I'm happy to be a part of some elite company, maybe only my own company, to be honest with you.
Maybe you can get a Hammy Award on ESPN 850. Who's worse, Grossi or Hammer?
See, you know what? I like Grossi outside, when he's analyzing things on the radio or Browns talk shows isn't bad. And he used to be really good. He was the reason Odell didn't get into the Hall of Fame. a bunch of other things. He was great, but now he's taking this stance to be like an incredibly negative Browns fan, and almost to a point where he's senile. And it's just so. That being said, I like him. It's like I hate him less. I don't hate anybody, but I don't like Aaron Goldhammer. However, I think Aaron Goldhammer is a shithead on purpose.
Yes,
he is doing this on purpose.
It's genius. He, as much as I hate him, like his job is to get if the more we hate him, the better he is doing at his job. Like it is not an easy role to come into an enemy territory like Cleveland when you're from Denver and a Broncos fan with already hate you. The whole generation of like the Rust Belt 90s and 80s workers like hate your guts already by association. Then come in and take the worst, most unpopular takes day in, day out. Get the phone calls of saying like, "Are you going to talk about Kathy Griffin in the sound check?" It's like,
here's the thing, though. It's like everybody needs a heel. Like in the WWE, like if MJF or someone went out, be like, what do we do now? Like with Trump out of office, a lot of people like news reporters are like, what do we talk about now? When Obama was out, it's like, what do we talk about now? So like Jake Paul, like people want him out of boxing. It's like, he's the best thing for boxing in years. He's revitalizing the sport. You got UFC people trying to get their payday because they don't get paid over there. You need the heel as much as people don't like him. It's every yin needs his yang. So that's, I forget what that was getting, I forget. Oh, Goldhammer, right? Because
who was worse? Who was worse, Goldhammer or Grossi?
Yeah. So I mean, as much as we don't like Goldhammer, like without someone like that, it just drives conversation. So, well, even with Grossi too. Sorry to interrupt, but with Grossi, with Grossi, it's like he asks a bunch of questions that are very dumb, but he gets memorable sound bites out of that, and that's what people need to remember. Is like, something why would a reporter ask that question? Because Baker gave an all-time answer with Jesus Tony or like something like that. Like, so in some sense, you have to thank people like Tony Grossi that get these like awesome sound bites out of people.
Yeah, like Greg Williams, like, are you Tony? Yeah, we're not here to talk about that. Like, yeah, so like,
yeah,
he is, like you said, it's all an art form, and the people that are outside of the world of media, they just see them on surface what they are, and that would be a really tough job to have. They can have it for sure. But let's go back to the Cavs real quick. We were talking about Evan Mobley, and we're obviously very high on him, as anybody should be at this point.
Yes.
But what do you think has been the secret sauce to the Cavs' fast start, man?
I think defense is a super important thing. I mean, anytime you have a bunch of 7-footers, a bunch of Amazon rainforests in the paint, like it just makes it really hard. And they've been super efficient. I think it's been tough in years because Sexton and Garland, yes, two great players. They kind of give me some Kyrie and Deion Waiters vibes. I think seriously, like Ricky Rubio's veteran presence, his leadership, and just the way he like plays really smart. He plays really calculated. He's been playing his most efficient basketball. I mean, he's had his most points per game. Yep. He's up there with assists. I mean, he had his career high with 37 the other day. I just think they're, like you said, they've been very good at every position now, and they seem to be a little deep. They can go 8 deep, and I can be confident in them. Lamar Stevens kind of scares me at points, but he's also played well at points. And then if Kevin Love, if he ever comes back, he didn't look horrible. I mean, he's not a $30 million a year player, but he's been playing his best basketball since 2018. Not saying as good as 2018.
It's such a bad sample size between.
It is, but he's playing a good bench player role. Like it's not great, but it's better than the last 2 years. I still want him to be traded. I hate saying that, but it has to come to an end. But it's not going to happen. So,
yeah, at this point, he's just trying to milk out what little bit he can do, because at this point, Cavs looking for a contract detrimental to the team if he would act out of line so they can get him out of town.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think he likes being here, which is kind of nice for a person like him to enjoy the city. I mean, he's been here, 8 years? This is his 8th year? 7th?
He's the only one that didn't leave. Like we can give him that.
So LeBron and him were here for 4 years, correct? 14, 15, 16, 17. 4 years.
So 14 to 21, 22. Yeah.
So this is the 8th season.
This will be his 8th season.
Pretty crazy. I think that out of him and Kyrie and LeBron, that K Love would be the one to be here the longest.
Yeah.
Wow, man. That not on my bingo card. Not on my bingo card.
Yeah. Whoever put the futures on that one at Vegas is collecting a check.
Speaking of which, I bet Dolphins money line tonight. I've won. So DraftKings sponsored our podcast.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. It's mostly because of the company I work with, but I'm not. I'm
Dude,
not gonna
who
say
cares? Fake it till you make it, man. Go with it.
I've won 5 out of my last 6 bets. I bet Jaguars money line last week. I bet Browns money line. My friend took that as, okay, I'm going to put them in a parlay. He put $50 on the Browns and Jaguars money line and won $650. The Jaguars money line paid out so well because nobody thought the Jaguars were going to beat the Bills. And for some reason, I was like, I'm just gonna put $5 on the Jaguars. Like the money line was ridiculous. So
yeah, that was a monster payout. Actually, tonight would have been a monster payout too. Speaking of tonight, Veterans Day, I'm definitely more American than you are by our apparel here today. I do want to commend myself on my Veterans Day attire just for you, brother. But big AFC North implications tonight. The Browns, our Cleveland Browns, got a breath of fresh air with a very big loss and upset tonight. Tua coming in like an old dirty gym sock in the second half and leading the Dolphins behind everyone keeps trying to give like, oh, Tua came in. It was the defense that won the game for Miami tonight. And Mr. Lamar, MVP, I'm putting up better numbers than MVP last year. It's like it's a ticking time bomb waiting on him to just have an absolutely implosion. It happened tonight. Big game for the Browns. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, here's the thing. The Browns, and this isn't even a troll job. I tweeted this. The Browns look like the best team in the AFC North right now, and it even becomes more mind-boggling as to how they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They blew out the Bengals, who blew out the Ravens, and the Bengals also beat the Steelers, if I'm correct. So it's funny. Lamar the Dolphins defense, give him credit, played incredibly well. Lamar was 26 of 43. He had a garbage time touchdown. So I mean, you can count that. It's whatever. He's on my one fantasy team, so I'm happy that he scored. But 26 of 43, 238 yards. He only had 39 rushing yards, which is insane because he's had a few 100-yard games. 9 carries for 39 yards. I mean, he was flustered. He did not play well at all. The Dolphins, I don't know what they necessarily did, but they just pressured him, and they kept changing up the defense, and Lamar just couldn't read anything.
They were bringing a lot of speed off the edges tonight. They were doing a lot of corner blitzes, outside linebacker blitzes. They were bringing the speed, which the Browns have with guys like Jock and Grant Delpit and James and Johnson. Browns you might see a lot of outside heat coming the rest of the season on Lamar because he got roughed up.
Well, this is incredible. This is the best thing that could have happened for the Browns because, like you said, we are one game out now. Browns are 5-4. The Ravens are now 6-3. Now you also have 60 minutes of game film on how to beat Lamar Jackson, and this is for anybody. The Dolphins had 2 wins on the season before this. They had a backup quarterback technically in Tua come in for Jacoby Brissett. The Browns defense has made big plays. They made giant plays. I was in person for it last week against the Bengals. It was unbelievable. First off, aside from it being a fucking home game in Cincinnati, it was unbelievable. But now you have a blueprint for how to beat Lamar Jackson, how to shut him down. And everybody, I don't want to hear a damn Ravens fan give Baker Mayfield any fucking slander ever again. Lamar Jackson not only lost to the Miami Dolphins, he got destroyed by the Miami Dolphins.
Bringing the hammer down. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see him on his back the whole damn night. And
on his back more than Mia Khalifa.
Woo! Woo! The Miami Dolphins porn star reference. I got it.
Miami.
Did you even know that she's from Miami? Not that I would know. I mean, I read about it once in a blurb.
I actually have never First off, I don't even watch porn, so I don't even I've referenced her in my videos all the time because
I think you can reference someone that's been in the game 10 years at this point because God, we were still juniors in high school, I think, when she came into the scene, and everybody. I
don't know. It's kind of funny. I just read all the stories about it.
We went on way too long, didn't we?
We did. The only reason I know about her, that was because she like got paid like shit money for all that stuff. And I was like, damn, that to do all those videos and
Didn't even
not
know
get paid.
that.
But going back to going back to the Ravens, the reason I said it, Lamar Jackson got sacked also four times for 28 yards. That there was one play where Sammy Watkins should have caught like a 60-yard bomb, maybe toe tapped it in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
But it's not even like the Dolphins offense did anything impressive. Tua was 8 of 13 for 158 yards. Jacoby Brissett at 156 yards. So I mean, 300 yards passing is not bad. I mean, it's pretty good. That's pretty solid. But no touchdowns. I mean, it was all defense, and Tua had a rushing touchdown, and that was it. I mean, it really wasn't that impressive of a game by Miami, other than their defense absolutely shutting down Lamar Jackson. So I'll say it time and time again. But Joe Woods, you better be up, and you better be putting this in the archives on how to beat the Baltimore Ravens, and more in particular, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, there's a lot of speed coming at him tonight. So let's see what old Joey Woodsy dials up there. So you were at the Browns-Bengals game, and it was at Cincinnati, and you kind of mentioned it. It was kind of a home game last week for the Browns. What was the vibe like there? Because I know when Austin Hooper caught that first touchdown, it sounded like the whole stadium was chanting, "Hoop!"
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Well, first, that Denzel Ward play was unbelievable. They were marching down the field. I'm like, oh my God, like I still think Baker's going to do good, but it's going to be this like shootout game. And it was absolutely, actually, no, Hooper didn't score the first touchdown. I think that might've been Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I was just saying, like the first time that he caught the ball, they were you
can hear it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I completely heard that wrong. But so
that's all right.
When I'm saying,
I probably smuffled.
No, definitely didn't. When I say it's a home game, it was literally a home game. There were more Browns fans there than Bengals fans. I mean, you could ask anybody there. It was like, you know how they do like the shots of like the fan cams at the game? They couldn't do one without a Browns fan in, which one is really tough because everybody's wearing like orange, brown, and black, and white, or whatever. But secondly, there just was so many more Browns fans there than Bengals fans. I could not believe it. It literally felt like a home game. It was the coolest thing ever. And the Browns, they gave up some yards, and Jamar Chase kind of screwed some things up. So like he kind of went back to his preseason thing, but it's just funny to me. Like there were so many weeks where Browns fans, who potentially are some of the most toxic people on the face of the earth, like I'm okay with saying that, they were calling for Joe Woods to be fired. Well, guess what? Joe Woods put together a great game plan last week. And you know what? He's put together some great game plans so far this season as well. I love Odell Beckham Jr. I really do. He sent me a signed jersey before. He's such a nice person. I think the Browns and Odell are better off. They're separate ways. I'm happy he went to the Rams. I think he's going to succeed. He could potentially win a Super Bowl this year. Wouldn't it be crazy if the Browns and Rams, I'm just saying, play in the Super Bowl. But to go back to the game, absolutely electric. Just such a fun experience. Bengals fans were great. Like it was just a really good vibe, good atmosphere. Like Cincinnati's a great city. And it was a much needed win, and now a much needed loss for the Ravens. I mean, if the Browns win against the Patriots, they're half a game out on Baltimore. And then here's the thing: if they can keep that, like the Ravens can win the next couple games, sure. The Browns play, as everybody knows, the Ravens two times in a 3-week span. They got the Ravens, a bye week, and the Ravens again. There are so many things that can change, and I just want to thank Brian Flores and the Ravens defense, the Dolphins defense, because holy cow. I mean, what a blessing from God right now for the Cleveland Browns.
And like the weather, you turn it on and like it was raining and just nasty, and you just got that vibe like, oh man, tonight could be that night. Yeah, a lot of Miami turquoise loving peoples up in the Northeast Ohio area tonight, especially up on the lakeshore for sure.
100%. Yep.
Sorry, I thought you were going to no. Hey, we're allowed to have one, one miscommunication in 2 shows, so it's all good.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the screen up too when you're talking. I'm looking at stats and stuff to try to like piece things together. So that was definitely on me. I will say though, I'm just saying, there's a hotel in Miami. It's called the Clevelander. Just saying.
think there's a lot of mob. I think it's where Jimmy Hoff is buried at, actually.
That's he's somewhere near there. Also, that's where the Lebertard show is that's where they have the show. Is at the Clevelander.
To me, he'll still be he'll have the best interview of all time when he just went absolutely off on Rob Manfred. That was the most epic interview. Google that one. That was a good one.
It is good. I'm happy they're on Spotify and some other independent stuff too. Them and Pat McAfee. Like it's just I don't know. Anyways, that's another rabbit hole we could go down.
Yeah. But for tonight, though, we are talking, we're talking Cavs, we're talking Browns, we're talking AFC North. I mean, it is just a great time to be a Cleveland fan. Now we got college hoops mixed into this whole batch. Who is Sir Yacht's favorite college team? What's your squad other than Ohio Wesleyan?
So big Ohio State guy. Just being pro Ohio myself. IO. And but I really like Auburn football. My girlfriend went there, and I just fell in love with them. They're like kind of underdogs, like the Browns. So I've actually met some Auburn fans that are also Browns fans, which like they're from Alabama, but they don't have a team, so they root for the Browns because it's like the same thing. I mean, it's super cool. So like I never hope they face each other because people are like, oh, like wouldn't you be happy if they won? I'm like, no, I don't know who I would root for. Honestly, I guess I would have to go with Ohio State, but it's hard to root against Auburn. Like I really like Auburn. I catch a lot of heat. I catch a lot of heat for that. But I'm first off and madly in love with the woman that I'm dating. But I don't know why. Like
when's the big day?
Well, our anniversary is our third anniversary is Sunday, which is cool. But we're gonna get married before she gets into her residency. So I'm gonna propose in about a year and a half.
We're gonna document it.
Yeah, we'll do it live on the show.
Yeah, we can do dude sports sessions. Sir Yacht gets married.
Dudes and duets, prepare for the proposal of your dreams. You know what's funny? This reminded me of something. When it was announced that Mac Wilson's like I don't know how you say like girlfriend, wife, baby mama, whatever the case may be, that she was pregnant and they were going to deliver on like in August. I commented under his post and I was like, "Congratulations, Mac. Would love to have your girlfriend give birth to your son live on our podcast or something, live on our live show or something." And he just goes, LMAO, what the fuck?
Wasn't there a Browns player that had to deliver his baby on the highway a couple years ago?
Oh, I don't remember. That sounds familiar, but
it's wild. So Browns, this is like for everyone like watching, like this is like the life of a Browns fan. Like we're living like a normal football life for the first time ever, because normally we're worried about like who delivered a baby of his girlfriend on the way to the stadium because he was late for film session, while him and Johnny Manziel were passing doobies out in like the hotel pool. On a Swan, talking into walkie-talkies full of money. Like, that's what we're normally used to. So the fact that we're talking playoffs in week 9, we are a blessed group of people right now.
We are. And there were so many people 2 weeks ago that when they lost to the Steelers wrote them off. And I got so much shit being like, oh, Baker's not the guy. Baker's not the guy. They're done. Fuck all of you. Seriously, I mean, first off, they're in the hunt right now. Have you seen the AFC playoff picture right now? Yeah, the Browns are in the hunt at 5-4. The people in front of them are 6-3. There's like 2 teams. There's so many 5-4 teams. I'm telling you, they're gonna blow this thing open. I think they're gonna beat the Patriots. I think they're gonna beat the Lions. I think they're gonna play very well against the Ravens. And then the Ravens again. If they split with the Ravens, that's okay with me. Honestly, because they just haven't been able to figure out Lamar. But I'm telling you, they're going to be just fine. They have a serious chance of winning the division. They really do. I don't necessarily think they're going to, but I would not be surprised with a fifth seed in the postseason.
It was killing me like on that Steel. Like after the game, like I saw they were going to lose, and I just turned it off. I just turned my like phone off, and I'm like, because like I couldn't get on Twitter and toxic Twitter because it was just ridiculous. Because I knew nobody would think about the fact that they were still a half a game fucking out of the playoffs, even with the loss. I'm like, we are a half game out, and we are just like done with the season. Like it's like on Julian, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like it's just crazy to me. Like it just. Browns fans just like the bitch to bitch. It's like, it's like they refuse to let themselves be happy with anything. It's wild. What
It's
is
so
wrong
annoying.
with us? What is wrong with us?
I'm not taking credit for all those fucking idiots.
No, that's what they are. Those are the ones that hopped on the fucking bandwagon. Get out, GTFO, get on your little hoppy poke along stick and get the fuck out.
Yeah, it's just
that's it, man. That's it on that one. They suck.
Sucks so dumb.
Suck. It sucks to suck.
I'm tweeting something right now that I'm gonna just cause violence. So many Browns fans wrote off Cleveland after they lost to the Steelers and gave shit to people that had a positive outlook on the rest of the season. It's far from over, you miserable clowns.
How much? Hey, by the way, can we talk about something here real quick?
Yes.
Your life on Twitter is a wild one. You retweeted one of mine last week of that don't impress me much. And I get a guy's like, you don't really think this is good, right? I'm like, yeah, I think it's entertaining. He's like, can we agree this is horrid? I'm like, Jesus, man. I'm like, can't we just say nice things about somebody? Like.
Wait, so was somebody talking smack to me or what
about you, man? I had your back, man.
Oh, yeah. That's tough.
That's what we do.
Yeah, you don't have to. I appreciate you, but
you really don't think this is good, do you? And I'm like, I think it is. He's like, man, this is horrid. I'm like, man, well, you're entitled to your opinion, but it kind of sucks.
Here's the thing. I don't condone anybody to defend me on the internet or defend other things because you will get the wrath that I'm supposed to get, but it'll just get passed on to you. I do appreciate it though, more than you know. However, that is the internet for you, and that is why I have my notifications on sometimes when I don't want to see them, and when I do, I laugh because I know I fucking won because they're wasting their damn time hating on me.
Does this shirt look like I'm scared of a good fucking time?
It looks like you're born the fucking U.S. of A. We're back-to-back World War champs. Thank you very little.
I mean, I kind of wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and it's kind of just how we do things. I use this shirt. I change my kids' butts with it, don't even make a mess because the shirt prevents it from happening. And then
what was that part? What was that middle part? You use that shirt to change your kids' diapers?
No.
To wipe their asses?
I wear it because I don't have to wear a diaper because I can just go and it's just gone because this shirt has magical powers, which it's called freedom.
It's called freedom, and it's called working, and it's called blue collar.
Yeah, I'm a Rust Belt kind of guy, just like you,
Rust Belt kind of guy, just like me. We both put our pants on one leg at a time every day. The difference is we got magical powers because we're free. We're a free country.
Dude, I was worried about your legs and your ankles on that music video last week. Those pants were a little tight.
Yeah, I was cutting off the circulation to my balls.
I was worried about. I thought your toes.
Look, I got skinny legs. And you know what? I'm proud of them too. Do I skip a leg day or 7? Sure. I may do that. However, I don't know.
I think that's why you're not feeling good. I think you cut off circulation to the upper half of your body for at least a good hour.
I still have sex whenever I see my girlfriend, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Twice on a good day, but if he does,
I see her once every 2 months, so
dude, that's like six times. Then good for you. Good for you.
Well, yeah. Well,
Hey, we don't. Hey, we're.
I love her. It's okay.
We don't kiss and tell. And tell.
Apparently I do. I don't know.
She knew what she signed up for. Your stuff's kind of out there a little bit.
Yes.
So you got what's going on now? You got you getting cheesy this weekend. You got the Wisconsin game, and then you got Lambeau. You're going to have to hang out with Cole Curley, right?
Yeah. I'm hanging out with Aaron Rodgers and Giannis.
Dude, you already have been. You're sick.
I already have been. I've been hanging out with Aaron Rodgers.
You bastard. That's where you got the cheesehead from. You clever dog.
Boom. You see the vision. You see it.
You have to throw in quick slants to Randall Cobb with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I thought that Odell was going to go there. I thought that made a lot of sense. I really did think I thought it'd be cool to see him there. I thought he would go to the Chiefs. because they really need a second wide receiver. And that honestly would have helped them immensely. However, I don't know if anybody saw the Rams. Apparently, they made a last second push, and because they have Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, and they just released Deshaun Jackson because he didn't get that many touches. So it's a very puzzling move. But Odell, big entertainment guy, loves Los Angeles. I mean, this is where he lives in the summer. So honestly, a great move for him. I mean, it's a 1-year thing. If it doesn't work, he can go somewhere else next year. So.
Yeah, I mean, he structured out the deal the way he wanted to where he was going to become a free agent no matter what at the end of the year. And I think that's what he really wanted. I think he wanted to go on the J.J. Watt recruitment tour 2.0 like he did last year. And that's fine. Like you said, it just didn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work. I'm personally happy. And last thing we're going to talk about here is that basically I love what I want to take some time to give Andrew Berry a lot of credit here. They took the money they saved from the Odell Beckham Jr. release for the cap hit next year, and they reallocated those funds to get Bitonio and, more importantly, in my opinion, Wyatt Teller locked up. Wyatt Teller is the cog of that offensive line. He's the bulldozer. He's the road grader. He is Bill Callahan's protege, and he has been, brought in by that bum John Dorsey that brought in no good talent for us. Everybody ran out of town and rode off. But, anyway, that's beside a different point. And totally embraced, gave bowls of onions to Steelers fans at nice Bender's Tavern up in Canton. But anyway, no sour milk there at all. But brought him in for a 6th-round pick, and we got him locked up. So now the Browns' offensive line, everybody except for J.C. Treader is locked up for this year and next. But every starting 5 linemen is under contract for at least the next 2 years, and 4 of the 5 are under contract for at least the next 3. I love it. I love what they did.
Well, you know what's so funny too? I have 2 comments based on what you just said. First, I loved John Dorsey. The only issue with him was he created a toxic bureaucracy to where he was kind of the puppet master and stuff. And the hire of Freddie Kitchens, which I was backing and a lot of people were, it was very confusing.
Yeah.
And but from a scouting perspective, I mean, he nailed it. His picks last week, Baker, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb, absolutely killed it. You have Wyatt Teller, like you said, who they extended, and they gave up a 5th and a 7th round for, which is an absolute steal. I mean, to have that line solidified for the next few years, that is such a blessing. And that is one of the best lines in the NFL.
And he brought in J.C. Treader.
Yes, he did. I mean, and got Kareem Hunt here as well. I mean, he's done a lot of great things. I mean, he missed on some picks. That's what people are like, well, but he missed on some things. It's yeah, but he hit home runs. He hit some dingers. And here's the thing, though, too.
He got the quarterback.
Right.
The thing we were missing since 99. He got it. And we hate him. Crazy.
No, I mean, but so a lot of people also are taking that they're sign all these people the offensive line, Bitonio and Teller, to oh, they're not going to give Baker a contract. They're focusing on that stuff. That's what that reminds me of. It reminds me of the people that are go get Saquon Barkley at number 1 and get your quarterback at number 4. Whoever falls, that's what you get, but you get Saquon Barkley. To them, I say, you're an absolute freaking stooge. Listen to this. If you don't think that Baker is the guy right now, if you don't think that Baker plays differently without Odell, despite there being,
crazy.
Not even just a sample size, but very pure empirical statistical evidence for this, you're crazy. You are crazy. The Browns are a much different team. They proved it against a much better Bengals team than we are used to seeing.
A good team.
And they should have beat the Steelers. They will beat the Patriots. I think they're not a favorite. They're not a favorite against the Patriots, if I'm correct.
How? And I don't like that. How?
Because I think Vegas is super confused, and I think they think a lot of people are going to bet on the Patriots. But here's the thing. Here's why I took the Browns last week. They were a 2.5, 3-point underdog, and it was because they didn't look like a good team. But then they had without Odell. I'm not putting everything on him. It's just Baker doesn't play the same with Odell in there. He runs freelance routes, which will work in some offenses, but in offenses that have a ton of structure, like Kevin Stefanski's, it will not work. So it is just so different. It took me so long to like admit, because I definitely knew, and a lot of Browns fans knew, but you want a superstar like Odell, and it doesn't make sense that it didn't work. But after a while, you're finally like, yeah, it just isn't working. So I'm happy it worked out the way it did. I wish Odell the very best because I think he's a really good guy, and I hope he works out Los Angeles. But to go back to my original point real quick, to solidify that line, amazing. But Andrew Berry is not dismissing Baker Mayfield by getting the line. Quite the opposite, actually. To have a line, you need somebody to protect Baker Mayfield. So I love these moves. So shout out Odell Beckham Sr. Thanks for
Shout out.
Yeah, those posts. I really appreciate you.
Well, and this is where the analysis of Tony Grossi really does come into play, and where he's so smart, because he's talked about this. He actually talked about this months ago, and I loved it. And basically what the Browns are doing is they're signing everybody. Like, they've talked with Baker, contract negotiations fell through. They're locking up everybody else. And then they go to Baker and be like, listen, man, we got a Super Bowl caliber team here, or at least playoff, however they're going to sell them on it's a Super Bowl team. And like, we got your line locked up for 3 years. We got you wide outs. We got you multiple tight ends. We got you the best running back in the field. You can leave all that if you want, but this is how much money we have left. And then they're going to try to get Baker Mayfield in this quarterback-friendly, team-friendly contract, and then they can keep putting all the money in the defensive secondary, the offensive line, the running backs, the wide receivers. This is a genius play by Andrew Berry, because he is forcing the Baker camp to take a very team-friendly deal, because there's just not enough money left over after all this. And
Here's
it's because he walked away.
Yes. Exactly. And it's not like they're going to pay him 10, 15 million a year, which I would take. But listen, I think they're going to give him 30 to 35 million, which for Baker is pretty good. And for any quarterback is pretty good. I mean, you got Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes that are making absolutely ridiculous money. And, do they deserve it? Sure. But it's going to hurt them long term. Right now, they have it so that Patrick Mahomes isn't making as much on average. But in a few years, it is going to go up. And I know there are ways to manipulate the cap and things like that. I think the cap is a fucking myth.
I think this last year proved it's a myth. And I think there's going to be rules to tighten that up. That's what I think.
I hope so. But look, yes, Baker, but how much money is enough money? He's making so much money off Progressive and Hulu commercials and Nissan commercials and everything he does. 30, 35 million, and you have a team around you. Look at Patrick Mahomes this year. They do not have a defense. They're struggling without Sammy Watkins or Demarcus Robinson or McCole Hardman, like somebody like a second wide receiver. Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are not enough. They do not have a running game. Patrick Mahomes looks lost. And look,
can you imagine? What's that contract looking like now in 4 years?
Ooh. Holy moly! Look, here's the thing: did we put Patrick Mahomes on a pedestal too early? I don't know if that's necessarily the answer yet.
He won a ring, so it doesn't matter what he really cost.
Patrick Mahomes could not win a ring the rest of his career, and people would think he's the greatest quarterback of all time. I don't know. I like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a little cocky at times.
I don't like him at all. He puts ketchup on a steak.
Yeah, well, I don't like his brother, but I don't think
he's communist. His shirt would be a sickle and a gold star.
Yeah, no thanks. That'd be LeBron more so, because LeBron is a communist. But
we're trying to get stir the pot.
LeBron is not well, I'm not going to say LeBron's a communist. I'll have somebody else say that. But he's a communist. I don't know. Here's the thing about Patrick Mahomes. He had a great first 4 seasons, and he's in his 5th season right now, and he's by far having his worst season. He has one of the highest interception rates in the NFL right now. He just is not looking good. And this is exactly why Andrew Berry is doing all these things right now. It is not to dismiss Baker. It's to be like, hey, we cannot pay you $40, $50 million and keep all of these guys. We are going to sign these guys first, and then here is 30, 35 mil a year. Okay, we'll give you more guaranteed. Here's the thing: if they're gonna do like the 30, 35 mil, they'll give them. I guarantee you the contract will be fully guaranteed, if not super close. Like, it's going to be a very team-friendly deal, but Baker's going to get a lot of incentive to take 30 to 35 as opposed to. But listen to this though. If it's $35 million a year or whatever, is he really going to leave to go to another team that's going to pay him $40 million a year? No. Is that going to matter that much in the grand scheme of things? No.
Well, Baker just screams, "I'm willing to do what it takes to win." On
With
the
everything he
team
said,
talent.
and how many times have you seen a quarterback like leave in free agency when you hit a quarterback? It's somebody basically that like leaves because they've drafted another quarterback. Not, hey, we've got our guy, and he left because it's not like the NBA. When you have a quarterback,
I think
you
it's
keep
getting
him.
to that though.
You think it's gonna?
Look what
I
Deshaun Watson did, man. He dug his feet in. He said, "I ain't playing," and he's kind of setting the precedent going forward that eventually these players are just going to hold out to where they get their way.
He also has 22 sexual assault allegations on him, but
Well, you
a
know,
little. But to
you
be
worry
fair,
too much about the gray area and small details.
here's well, we should be worried about that. But here's the thing, though. Even without that stuff, he was not going to play another down in Houston. And then all that stuff came out, and people were like, oh, it was just
So I mean, I guess
him.
we could take off like the Aaron Rodgers thing. Like he wasn't coming back till they renegotiated his contract. You know, he kind of had them by the cojones, and these quarterbacks know they have these franchises by the cojones are starting to flex a little bit.
I just don't see Baker Mayfield doing that, especially
he's not the guy. I will say bad reference.
They've set him up so well. They have a great defense, an incredible running game. If they can keep Kareem Hunt, hell, if they can keep Dearness Johnson, like what a luxury the Browns have right now. Even with Kareem Hunt out, even with the question of Felton and Nick Chubb and John Kelly being out, you still have Dearness Johnson, who's okay. Nick Chubb will probably come back Sunday. There's hope, which is nice. But like, what an absolute luxury the Browns have right now. So if I'm Baker Mayfield, I'll take 30, 35 mil in a heartbeat. He's set up financially for life. Like, I get it. Like, you know, if I put myself in my shoes, I'd be like, well, I'm surrounded by this great atmosphere, and, you know, but I'm like, of course you want to make as much money as you can, but how much money is enough money is my question. And it's not to say Baker's like selfish or whatever.
We're good.
Ball almost fell. We're good. That was a scare.
There was a cat. We're good.
Almost.
No. Go ahead.
I saw the thing move back, and I was ready for that thing to go down. So I'm happy.
I don't know what it was. Yeah.
I don't know, but he's still gonna make a crap ton of money and a good amount of money, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, he has the option. They picked up his option next year. So I would imagine this offseason they would have to give him some sort of contract. You don't want the free agency thing looming into next season. So what they're going to do is they're going to reevaluate
after next year. Franchise tag. They can start franchise tagging him next year.
They can, but I just give him a contract. I don't like the franchise. Jerry Jones played way too many games with Dak Prescott. Oh. I did not like that. I think that's a bad. I don't think. Look, listen. Especially it would be such a bad thing if Andrew Berry gave all these contracts to Nick Chubb and Joe Bitonio and Wyatt Teller and Myles Garrett
and Hunt.
And then he's playing the franchise. Like, I just could not see that in a bajillion years. I mean, I think the way Baker's going to play, which in my head, he's going to play very well the rest of the season because they play better with Odell Beckham Jr. for whatever reason or another. I think Baker is going to get a team-friendly deal that'll give him some fully guaranteed money, 5-6 years, maybe 35 million a year. That'd be my guess.
Oh, 35 mil. I think that would be great. I think it's gonna be closer to 30. I think
I would take 30, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not the guy who has to pay him. So
no, absolutely not. What do we got next after Wisconsin? Are we allowed to know what's going on after that, or is it week by week with you?
It's week by week, but I can let you know. After this week, so I'm going to Wisconsin Northwestern, and then the Packers Seahawks game. Next week, I'm going to the Thursday night game, which is in Atlanta, and it's the rematch of the 28-3 Super Bowl Patriots Falcons. So I'll see the Patriots after they play the Browns, which is kind of cool. And then we have a day off, and we're traveling to Tuscaloosa, and I'm watching an Alabama game, which I'm pretty excited about. They're playing Arkansas, and then the week after that, or after Thanksgiving, I'm going to be in New Orleans, and then I'm going to be in Minnesota, and I'm going to be in Tampa. And that's this year.
That's this year, he says. Well, I'm glad that out of all of that, you take time to hang out with all of us dudes and dudettes on this podunk little town we got show we got going on here, and also Northeastern Ohio. You're the absolute man. Hope you get to feeling better soon. Seriously, we need you back to 100% because I need a lot of dumb content to laugh at over the weekend. But I mean that in the most positive way possible. Ladies and gentlemen, dudes and dudettes, our Lord and Savior, the CEO of Ohio, Sir Yacht.
Tony, thank you so much for having me on. I love to come on as much as you have me on. I really do appreciate it. And best of luck to keep killing this podcast. It's a lot of fun to be on. More people should be listening. We need more dudes and dudettes, checking this out. It's good stuff.
Organic growth. And on that note, he said LeBron James is a communist, and that's it.
Oh my